Greetings, hello, shalom. Much love to you all. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. I hope that you guys are truly embracing yourself into the word of our Creator. And I hope you guys are looking forward to a Shabbat, because it is one of these appointed times that as we get through the middle of the week, as those who get through Wednesday often say hump day. Well, once we make it through that day, then here we are, and we're still grinding, and we grind hard, and we put everything that we have into it, and we make it to a Friday, which is a preparation day, which is the sixth day. It's not actually called a Friday. Those are all the pagan names that we have been given and been delivered. But what we have before us, guys, is an opportunity right now to seek our Creator where He's able to be found. And if you don't know where He's able to be found, He's able to be found in the first 5 books of Scriptures, because inside of these first 5 books of Scriptures, you're going to learn all of the qualifications and all of the aspects and all of the attributes and all of the describing features of our Creator. You will see by His ways and His actions and the things that He does as He walks among His people. And we learn how we are to operate. We learn how we are to be as a citizen inside of a community. We learn how to be a citizen inside of the kingdom to come. We learn about a different group of people. And in fact, our Creator hasn't just given us these words, but He's also given us a promise of a covenant. A covenant is something that all of us, if we don't have a lease agreement on our house or some sort of way to know that month to month that, they might just be kicking us out, we need some sort of guarantee that if what we do based upon what the Scriptures say, that it will yield to us what the promises are. And our Creator has given this to us. He gave it to us in Jeremiah 30 and 31. He gave everybody a covenant to begin with. He gave all the children of Israel a covenant. He said, if you will follow me, obey my commands, I will be your Elohim and you will be my people. Now, there's no bloodline in this. There's no Jew or Gentile to any of this. There's no religion to any of this. All you have to do is to be a participant and seek the Creator by obeying His laws, statutes, and commandments and getting in line. And that fulfills a piece of our covenant. This is what we do. And the other piece of it is that our Creator says He will walk with us. He will be our Elohim. He will guide us. He will be the one who delivers us a Savior who was His Son, Messiah Yahushua. He's the one who will give us an exodus out of this crazy world that at some point there's going to be a second exodus whenever this comes. But right now what you guys can see is you can see you can see a new world order takeover. You can see the powers of evil that have basically are in compliance with everything that is going on. They are all in sync. Every government around the world, even though you're hearing rumors of wars and things of this nature, a lot of it is orchestrated. A lot of this is the banksters that are doing this. It's a grim time that we have to be alive right now. And it is an exciting time that we have to be alive, because these are the times that we are to look for. Rumors of wars, earthquakes in all these various places. They're burning off the West Coast U.S. right now. It is obviously orchestrated events that are happening worldwide, where they're completely decimating and taking out entire locations, and they say it's all natural. Oh yeah, it's all natural. Don't worry. Wind blowing in 3 separate directions, crazy radar stuff coming out of Area 51, anomalies that nobody has ever seen, and fires like nobody has ever seen before, unless something has completely been orchestrated and put together. And the thing is, they've all told us about Agenda 21. They told us about smart cities. They told us about these 15-minute cities where everybody who lives out to the places that just got burned off will all have to go into the big mega cities that they're dreaming of in the future. And so here we are with a takeover of evil across the world, everybody worshiping Lucifer openly. So here we are as a people that have an opportunity to be the minority, to be the few, the chosen, the ones who are willing to bend their knees to a higher power. And I'm not just saying bend your knees in prayer. I'm saying bend your knees in the understanding that we live under a rule system that our Creator wishes us to abide by. That's what the laws of our Creator are. And we've been lied to. When people are like, "Oh, this is bondage, this is torture. You can never keep the laws, Jason." Why? Why can't you keep the laws? Can we keep them perfectly? No, we mess up. We are humans. We do evil things. And that's what we're called not to do. We're called not to be evil. And so the greatest thing that anybody who's just barely coming into Torah keeping can do, number one, is to read the Torah. First 5 books of scriptures, 5 times slowly, as a love letter from our Creator to you. The second thing that you can do immediately right now is to get ready to keep the 7th-day Shabbat. In 2 days, when they call Saturn Day, it is the 7th day. That is a day of rest that our Creator has told us. You don't work, you don't cling, you don't cook, you don't do anything. It is a day that is just for rest. And so if you are willing to start this covenant path, this is what it's like. And I know for a lot of you guys out there, it's confusing. I know a lot of you guys are coming out of Christianity. You've been brainwashed for so many years. And a lot of times people are either, they click right off of this, or they listen and it challenges their what they believe that they know. And if we believe things that are not in scriptures, then we need to realign our thinking. And that always comes down to the big Trinity. People believe that the Father and the Son and the Ruach HaKodesh are one big happy egg. And that doesn't work like that. They believe that when our Messiah says he's going to sit on the right hand of his Father, that somehow the Trinity has spawned this, right? It's the Father and it is the Son. It is the perfect gift. It is the Father that has designed us, given us the rules, given us the set of rules, beautiful rules for our lives that can govern our lives in a way that is anomaly to the rest of the world. We need to be these people who are loyal, because why would you guys want to be loyal to the hands of the devil? If we are not serving Elohim Most High, then by default we're serving Satan. If you have no moral guide for life, you don't care about the laws at all, why would our Creator give a rip about us? Why would he's given us so many blessings and so many amazing abilities that we can simply do so many things here as humans. And to give back just a scrap of loyalty by doing the things that keep us alive, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we want the knowledge that are found in these books? Why wouldn't we want the knowledge that is found in the Apocrypha? Inside of the Apocrypha, we are told amazing things. We're told about the actual beginnings of the world and how things are formulated and how things work in our system. And if you go by the book of Enoch, which I believe is absolutely scripture without a shadow of a doubt, we're not a bunch of monkeys spinning on a ball. Think about that. Take a volleyball and dump it in water and spin it around 1,000 miles an hour. What happens to that water? It would fly off, right? So guys, the lies that we have all inherited, that we have all been deceived with, we need to go back to scriptures, and we need to realign everything we know with scriptures. And there's so many man-made traditions that I used to believe, and the things that literally had me on the road to hell. It was over. If our Creator had not spared myself and opened my eyes and made me not lazy so I'd start reading the scriptures myself, that's what it was all about. I was being led by people in these fake religions, in these satanic religions. Any religion at all, I believe, is satanic. Anything that changes the day of worship, anything that lets all food be made clean, anybody that's worshiping in a temple that has the phallus of Nimrod on top of it, that's all satanic, right? That's where you might go in there with the best of intent. You might get this feel-good feeling. But I'm telling you, the devil and the demons can give you guys all of those same great feelings. And you can think that you're really in some ordained place as you're just living in sin, because these guys will bless you, right? The demons will absolutely bless you. You will be... They want you content. They want you where you are, because they don't want you to change your way, because if you are a Christian that's just doing what Christians do and believe that all you have to do is ask Jesus into your heart, and the friendly Jesus and Paul will have you completely saved, that's the road to hell. None of that stuff is legit when it comes to scriptures. Now, this is Yah Scriptures. This is the greatest English translation that you will find anywhere, and I have not been challenged on that statement. This is a hybrid of the ISR. And the ISR, for those who don't know, I believe it's the TS 2009. It was a good version, but just like the Hallelujah Scriptures, they never finished it. And so when you don't finish it and you don't proofread it and you don't go through it, then there is a tremendous amount of errors and things and fixes that should have been done there. But that is where the Hallelujah Scriptures went, and they stole their uncompleted work, and then they just did a search and replace and got the Paleo Hebrew names into it. And so what we have done with Boss Clan is to attempt to stop a grifting unit like the Hallelujah Scriptures, who has stolen millions and millions and millions of dollars from Torah keeping people for 13 years, as well as they have not delivered a single, and they're not delivering, I'm not going to say single scriptures, because I know there have been scriptures that have sent into prisons, but for what they tell people that they had a prison ministry, there's nobody in these prisons that have ever seen the Hallelujah Scriptures. It's very, very rare, if ever. And the Hallelujah Scriptures, how I met all the guys I talked to right now, is because they were all in a box. They were in a box of letters that had never been opened. They didn't care. And they tell their postal people, don't worry about them. If you guys end up with letters, just don't worry about the letters. And so that is how they've been operating. And so this is why we focused 100% of everything that we do into the prisons. Nothing with Yah Scriptures supports my family at all. Nothing. We have our own outside support. We take care of ourselves. We do everything we have. And we were not going to cheat the hand of Yah. We are not going to cheat him and take from him and steal from them, because what we've been able to do is to find a tremendous amount of brothers and sisters. And we have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of free scriptures into our brothers and sisters in chains right now. And you can see the effects that people are doing. When you, first of all, care enough to send them a ginormous scriptures, and then you care enough to sit there and coach them on Torah. And if you guys think I'm coaching you guys on Torah, it's like turned up 150% when I'm sitting here typing up these emails. And so it is an amazing thing that we have with Yah Scriptures. And so if you guys want to purchase one of these, this is a limited edition print. The new ones are still being built, but we will have them. We're actually going to do a pre-sale on them probably in a month or so, where we will have what we believe is going to look like the final version. And for those who want to get the small paperback version, we will have that available. And so I don't know, it might be 6 months before we have these in our hand, but this is the plan for this. And the smaller version scriptures will allow us to get triple, quadruple, just an amazing amount of scriptures into the prisons, where it's small, lightweight, it's portable. It is, you guys know the Big Blue Book is the Big Blue Book. It's literally bulletproof for low caliber guns. You're not going to shoot an arrow through this thing. And so it is it's something that's the progression of our ability to spread the word. And so what you're looking at is this is a limited edition. When these are gone, I have no idea if y'all will ever have us get these out again, this exact same thing. So this is large print. This is for a reading marathon. This is where you guys can just read and read and read and read. Hopefully your eyes don't, tear up and go bad. This is the truth. It has 103 books. You will never find another book more complete with more love that has had the edits and the fixes and two okay manuscripts put together for what I believe is the greatest English translation that we have been with. And so, guys, it is available now. It has all the name of our Creator restored. No longer does it say God, Lord. All of those things are completely gone. No longer does it say Jesus, it says Yahushua, and it has it in his Paleo Hebrew name. I know some people say it's Yeshua or Yahusha. This is what we see, and when we meet our Messiah and he can give us the exact name, then we will figure this out. But I think Yahushua, I think, is very close because it has the name of his father. But of course, that's English as I'm saying it. So, guys, this is available right now. Let us get into our reading right here. And for those who do not know, this is a Google app. It's 100% free of charge. You can get it at yahscriptures.com. Go to the downloads, and it's an APK for any kind of Google phones, tablets, anything of the sort. It is there, free of charge, everything, including the PDFs. And you guys, you don't have to buy the books. All of the downloads are absolutely free of charge as well. So you only need to get the books if you want the book, and if you want to help us help these brothers and sisters in chains. And it is a very amazing time that we are in. Okay, so here we are. Book of the Nazarene, Khalidi. This is the very last book in Yah Scriptures. And what we're getting stories of, as we're getting stories of our Messiah as he's cruising around, as he is thronged by people. He is he's a celebrity. He's beyond a celebrity. People come from all over. People break through the roofs to lower people down. They will literally carry a paralytic guy up on top of a roof somehow, however they did it, and be able to, he is such a leader, which is why he is so dynamic, which is why this is such great news that we have somebody that is so amazing as the future leader of the kingdom to come. This is who we want. We want the Son of the Most High, who was with his Father before creation, that knows the Torah better than any of us could ever know the Torah. And that's who's going to be guiding us. That's who, when we have this wrong, when we have our calendars wrong, when we are mixing Shabbats up and doing weird things that we shouldn't be doing, he's going to guide us. But the point is that we should be doing the appointed times. We should be doing the feasts. We should be doing the festivals. We should be doing Shabbats. And we should be keeping all of the laws, statutes, and commands, which are super, super easy to keep. Okay, here we go. When the boat drew into the shallows, and this is Messiah's on the boat, obviously, with his people, and some of those with Yahushua went to get food. And a crowd gathered around him. So Yahushua told a parable often repeated. A sower went into his cornfield carrying seed in his apron, and he scattered it about, so some fell in the open and was eaten by the birds. Other seed fell on stony ground and sprouted quickly, but as it could not put down roots, it quickly withered. Some fell among thistles, where it was smothered before reaching maturity. Still others fell on good ground, and having ripened, produced a bountiful harvest. Now, we've heard this before. We have heard this where there's seed on the rocks. We haven't heard particularly that there's a guy with an apron and carrying corn, which is why Messiah says that all of these parables can be retold over and over and over as long as the point is the same. And so let's figure out what the point of this is. This parable is simple to understand, and I will explain it to you. I am the sower, and the seeds are my words. Some of you standing here in the open, listen, but close your heart to the message. With you, my words are like the seed eaten by the birds. With others, my words are like the seed falling on stony ground. For though they receive them hopefully, they are weak-willed and shallow-minded. Thus, when their belief is tested, they give way immediately. Still others receive the words, but the message is like the seed sown among thistles. They hear and understand, but because of their daily cares of a craving for worldly things, the words of the message become overgrown and perish. Lastly, there are those who hear the words of the message and welcome them. It is these that the bountiful harvest is produced. So this is some incredible stuff, right? This could be all of us. And a lot of us have spouses that are like this. A lot of spouses are very, very, they number one, a lot of us were all just pagans. We're all just straight up raging Gentiles when we came into Torah. And being a Gentile is not a good thing. That's why it's like when the Christians are like, oh, the Gentiles will be saved. There's no place in there that ever says that the house of Gentile is saved from anything. In fact, it says quite the opposite. If you want to be a Gentile, that means you're not in covenant with our Creator. It means you're doing what the world does. And so we're called to come out of her. But we've had people before, I especially remember a guy down here in the sticks of Panama, that he was an English-speaking guy, and we were setting up some internet thing or something for him. And I started talking about Torah, and he and his wife just completely came into it, and they started going into our Shabbat service for a couple of weeks. But there came an issue where they had to choose between letting the kid play soccer on a Shabbat and basically cutting the kids off from the stuff they love, or serving the Most High. And it looked like a big battle inside of that family was ensuing. And I didn't know what to say. I mean, obviously, I'm going to say, yeah, I mean, it sucks that we can't be part of the world, that we can't play soccer with the things. But, nobody's going to play soccer on Sunday. The Catholicism world, you're on Sunday service. This is the holy day of the pagans and the Gentiles. They're not going to mess up their holy day. So he and his family, I'm pretty sure they drifted completely away. And they saw the Torah, they understood the message, they were just blown away. They had been waiting for this moment that some guy actually knew what in the heck he was talking about, and it was all about scriptures. And I believe they are gone. I believe that the world has, the daily cares, the craving for the worldly things, the kids and the wife. That everybody wants something. The kids want something to do. If you're not enrolling your kids in the Gentile ways, then the kids, somehow you're an outcast. And guys, my kids were homeschooled like all of their lives, and they are articulate. They are brainy. They are everything that everyone's like, oh, you got homeschooled kids. You're gonna have some issues. Right, and never did. And in fact, I mean, they go out and they talk more than the regular people, and they're far more articulated than a lot of the people. So, I got off on the weeds here. Speaking of weeds, so guys, this is a message for all of us. This is something that all of us need to understand and take into an account. And I think I'm actually going to leave on this because I think this is a huge point that we should all understand is that all of us are these seeds, and we can either die or get eaten up by the birds, or the world can take us away. These are the words of our Messiah, who knows how humans operate and knows everything about all of us, how we work, how we operate. Guaranteed he was hanging out with his pops when his pops was designing the humans and putting all this stuff together. I'm sure Messiah is a spitting image of his pops. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's like you wouldn't want to debate this guy. You could see it throughout all of the Torah. Everybody that ever debated Messiah ended up getting burned. The Sadducees and the Pharisees couldn't do it. I mean, to the point that his words cut like iron, that these guys had to run a ruse and get him set up and take him out because they could not challenge him when it came to scriptures. And that makes a very, very good leader for us. That gives us very much hope in this fallen world. So all we got to do is just keep on keeping on. We need to roll with this Torah, need to roll as a covenant people. We want to be that anomaly. Most don't make it. Let's look real quick at Matthew for those that I still have with me. I love this book, and I love this chapter. This is just an incredible chapter. The one of the biggest things, right? Enter in through the narrow gate, because the gate is wide and the way is broad that leads to destruction. So we have a big wide gate, and it seems like everybody at some point makes it through that gate. But then the road off of the side of that, people fall off. They just, it's washed off. There's all these other things outside of what they should do. And guys, there's no greater thing that we can do in our life than celebrate our Creator. Celebrate him by giving back to him, celebrating his ways and his wishes and the things he built. Just go outside, touch the grass, look around, look on the outside, and experience his incredible design and engineering that has, they can zoom in really, really close on a stick of grass. And if you go like to 3,000 millionth of something, the blade of grass has like this little smile. It's this little smiling blade of grass. It's the craziest thing. And you look at this kind of stuff and you're like, wow, this is the way that nature has made everything. The way, not nature, the way that Yahuwah has made nature in every last detail, all the way down to the stuff we can't even see. And guys, that's where a lot of the things live. Little itty bitty tiny things. Guys, I've said this before, but our Creator has created over 1 trillion things that breathe like we do at the same time. Things that are living, breathing, working in an incredible ecosystem. This is an accident. This didn't just happen. This is an incredible design. Like if you saw birds that got so fat they couldn't fly, that'd be one thing. But everything around us has a point and a purpose, and there's nothing that is just broken. The human body is extremely well engineered. Everything around us is. And so that is more reasons that we need to get in line and we need to serve a power that is able to deliver such a good thing. If somebody's able to engineer such a good thing and he says, I wish you that you would go in this direction. I wish that you would keep the Torah for all generations. That's a really good idea. This guy's really smart. I think we should get in line with him because as humans, we're not that smart. Now, most don't make this, right? So we have a big gate when everybody gets in through the gate, but then there's that part that leads to destruction. And then it goes on and it says, there are many who enter in through it because the gate is narrow and the way is hard pressed, which leads to Kai. and there are few who find it. And that word kai is life, because the gate is narrow, right? So we have a narrow gate. It's kind of an oxymoron here, right? But in the scheme of things, we have a gate that's wide enough to get everybody through, but there's a wider path that leads to destruction. And the point that I'm trying to make on this thing is it says there are few who find it. If you look at the Christians, who there's billions of them, and the Catholics and all these other religions, everybody has salvation. Everybody has found salvation, but nobody's salvation is leaning based upon the words of our Creator. And this infuriates the Christians, because they're like, oh, you can't be saved by your works. Well, James very much clearly talks about, well, your faith is your works. You're showing what your faith is. You're loving your neighbor. You're being proactive. You're being fruitful. You're doing all the things of the Torah. And that's what the Torah is. The Torah isn't something that we just know. The Torah becomes a lifeline to us. It becomes how we operate, how we do things, how our attitude has to be conformed to. Guys, there's a lot of things. And if the scriptures say there are few who find it, if Messiah himself says there are few who find it, we got to be those guys, right? We want to be those guys. And I've never found another religion that values things, right? Even, Muslims, they don't have a Torah like this. They don't have the words of our Creator. And for those who say that works won't save you, how did Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob ever make it out, right? Was it because they were being rebels and disobeying the word of our Creator? Or did he accept them and their lines and their genealogy because of their actions, because of this? And did he not bless them, and has blessed all of them, right? And so here we are, and with a way in our world that we can either go to the good way, or we can go to the way of the world. And I see the way of the world. I see the state that we are in. It's terrible. I don't want to be here. I would much rather be in some place that people keep the Torah. If everyone around us kept the Torah, if we lived in a Hebrews 8 world, I am longing for this world. Father, please get us to the Hebrews 8 world. All right. Much love to everybody out there. Hope you're good. I'm out.